Hello Channel NITT viewers, I am DS, your psychologist, and welcome to another episode on Channel NITT. So it is very easy for anyone to distinguish between an SR user and an SE user. However, it is not easy to distinguish between an NR user and an NE user because both have to do with imagination, which you might not be able to see. So this episode is dedicated to help the viewers tell if a person is an NR user or an NE user. Surely there must be some physical manifestations, right? Yes. And I'm going to give you 3 ways to tell if a person is an NR user or an NE user. In my previous episode on NI, Introverted Intuition, I explained what Introverted Intuition is. It is imagination in the mind. And it is the ability to draw parallels. So coupled this together, there is one way to tell if a person is an NR user. So have you ever been to a movie theater watching a movie, then out of nowhere, someone just laughs very loudly and then you look at the screen. This funny meh? But this person is laughing really very heartily. Okay, let me demonstrate. Let me imagine. It's like that, okay? Imagine and laugh heartily. And it's infectious. So what actually happened is probably this person is an NR user. He is watching a particular part of the movie and it resonates, and he or she immediately associates with a funny episode in his or her life, even though that part that is shown right now is not funny. However, he or she managed to draw a parallel and link it to something funny. Alternatively, he or she found something humorous that most of the other people did not realize. So, he is the sole laugher. Such a word. He is the sole person laughing in the movie. Probably it is an NR user. However, given that this person is laughing so loudly, I think it is also very likely that this person is an ENTJ or an ENFJ, because INTJs and INFJs do not laugh so loudly in public. Alternatively, sometimes you may notice a person laughing to himself or suddenly sniggering or clapping his hands as if he's imagining something and rejoicing it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. You know, something like that. This person is actually having an imagination in his or her bubble and is acting out the joy of what he or she is imagining. I keep laughing with myself. In my previous episode on NI, I also mentioned that NI is a filtering system. So you can also watch out for the filtering system and decide if a person is an NI or NE user. Generally, NI users have a filter system in them. So when they give you an answer, it tends to be already polished.
With a brilliant serve.
So how does this filtering system manifest itself in a physical form? For us to understand it, I have a very quick test, and this is the CD test. Now listen to this test. Compact disc is a CD. Chicken drumstick is a CD. Carbon dioxide is a CD. Can you tell me another CD? So in this test, the test taker have to come up with a phrase where the first word starts with C and the second word starts with D. If you are an NE user, what actually happens is there is no filtering system, anything goes. So for the NE user, as long as they come up with a phrase where the first word starts with the letter C and the second word starts with the letter D, it is a valid answer. They will not restrict any answers and consider whether this answer is valid or not. So for example, an NE user might say, cold dog. Cold dog is an answer because Cold starts with C, dog starts with D. So cold dog is an answer. On the other hand, NI has a filtering system. Even though they might have thought of cold dog, they will never blurt out this answer because according to the NI user, the filter has already blocked off this answer as an invalid answer. So if you have an opportunity to profile somebody and you would like to know whether this is an NI user or an NE user, perhaps you can use something similar. So in general, NE users might give you answers that are very creative but may not be that valid. On the other hand, NI users will only give answers that are really valid. In fact, this filtering system is so powerful and potent, it also filters based on a lot of other factors such as the age of the opponent. So for example, let's say I as an adult am going to play a game with a 9-year-old boy, and the game is name animals that start with the letter T. So I may have thought of the animal tapir, and it is a valid answer. However, I understand that he is only a 9-year-old boy and may not know this animal. So automatically I filter it off, even though it is a valid answer. So this is how the NI works as a filter. One way to look at NI is that NI is all in the mind, while NE is imagination expressed outwards. So what do I mean by all in the mind? So for example, an NI user might look at you and inside his brain, he is very angry and is giving you some tight slaps. Pyak, 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 pyak. Inside his brain, he has slapped you several times, but he remains smiling at you. So if you are old enough and have watched the Ellie McBeal series, she always licks guys that are handsome inside her brain, right inside her mind. That is how NI works. So if I want to imagine a rainbow coming out from my hand, of course I can. And this is one of the functions of NI, though it is not the only function of NI. So if I start to feel romantic and I look at you and I can feel flowers, sakura petals falling from the sky, I can feel so because it's all in my mind. And of course, this is going to be a problem because people cannot see what's inside my mind, so they can't tell that I'm an NI user. On the other hand, NE users have this capacity to imagine inside their brain. However, they choose not to usually. They will express their imagination outward. So in order for me to demonstrate this, I am going to act it out. Of course, as a disclaimer, not all NE users are like that. But if you see a person demonstrating this, that is probably an NE user. Are you angry with me? Why are you not looking at me? I know I promised you, but I was really busy. So, you 乖啦, huh? It's very hard to act. Cannot do this. This is really hard for an NI user. Okay, of course, an NI user can also do NE. However, it is actually quite hard because it's not our preference. So an NE user might talk to inanimate objects like soft toys, and they may have a private conversation, or they might seem to communicate in different ways. So it may not be a plush toy, it could be a pillow, it could be a pen.
Pen, I have an apple.
So remember, Mr. Bean has this brown toy that he talks to sometimes, right? Mr. Bean is clearly an NE user. Okay, let's try another reenactment. Hello? Hey Jordan, you wait, huh? Why am I eating? I just want to let you hear the sound. ASMR, you know, very popular nowadays. So sometimes you may have friends, especially the younger ones, just calling you out of nowhere and playing this kind of pranks on you. They might want to irritate you, or they are just curious about how you may react, because NE is about possibilities. So NE users might be interested to test your reaction, make you angry to see if you become angry. So presume you have an ex and your ex misses you but doesn't want to contact you. If your ex is an NE user, he or she might just call you and then don't speak at all just to hear your voice. However, if it is an NR user, he or she will not call you. He or she will just imagine that you are well. Well, distinguishing between the NR user and the NE user may sometimes be slightly difficult because you cannot see imagination. However, I hope that this video has helped you and given you some ideas how you can actually spot an NR user and an NE user. If you have not subscribed yet, do consider subscribing so that we can continue to add value to you. We will continue to talk about the cognitive functions in our upcoming videos. Do watch out for that, and I'll see you again in my next episode. Goodbye! I'm gonna eat some more.